Like all other anti-imperialists, I was appalled and dismayed when I learned today that the violent political terror campaign of Washington's fascist proxies in Bolivia has forced Bolivia's socialist indigenous president Evo Morales to resign. But I'm a revolutionary fighter, not just someone who responds positively when revolutionary change happens. My role is to honestly assess the realities around me so that I can know how to defeat the capitalists and the imperialists. And today's events have taught me so many things that will help me and my fellow revolutionaries in our battles ahead. Today I've learned that those who support socialism and indigenous liberation must not engage in triumphalism about the recent gains for our cause throughout Latin America. We are up against a vast machine of imperialist violence and capitalist repression, and we should not have expected our movement to move towards victory without major setbacks. The reality is that we're facing an enemy with much, much more military and political power than we have. And the fact that capitalism and US imperialism are in decline doesn't mean that we can now easily smash the empire's global power structure. As the fascistic nature of the US-backed protests in Bolivia and Hong Kong have shown, this means that we now have to face openly violent fascist terror campaigns which the capitalists will carry out to fortify their control. Today I learned that because of this reality about how strong our enemy continues to be, we revolutionaries will only be able to win if we redouble our commitment to militant struggle. While it's naturally good for revolutionaries to become armed and trained, I also encourage my comrades to do the work towards building communist and anti-imperialist organizations that can facilitate socialist revolution. If we grow these organizations, we'll be able to be properly equipped to fight the capitalist state. As my comrades struggle to find their bearings amid the tragedy that happened today, I hope that they find hope by shifting their priorities towards this task of revolutionary organization building. Today I learned that as we revolutionaries try to gain power, we must hold no illusions about the fact that the capitalists will use all means necessary, including violence, to destroy us. Morales was vulnerable to a coup because he wasn't able to consolidate enough power or build enough of a security apparatus to keep his country safe from being overturned by capitalist destabilization. This really can't be blamed on Morales himself, but on the material realities of his political project. However, we must note that if Bolivia had underwent something like Stalin's campaign against petty capitalists, or Mao's Cultural Revolution, wherein the reactionary forces of Russia and China were suppressed, Bolivia would likely have been able to survive as a socialist state. In order for our attempts at revolution to be effective, we must act according to the following quote from Lenin. The state is a special organization of force. It is an organization of violence for the suppression of some class. What class must the proletariat suppress? Naturally, only the exploiting class, i.e., the bourgeoisie. Today I learned that the fight ahead is going to be harder than I assumed it would be, and that we revolutionaries must adapt accordingly by becoming more focused than ever on militant organizing under the principles of Marxism-Leninism. We must acknowledge the ruthless nature of our enemies, and we must learn to be ruthless ourselves. As Mao wrote about the relentless machinations of the imperialists, make trouble, fail, make trouble again, fail again, until their doom. That is the logic of the imperialists and all reactionaries the world over in dealing with the people's cause, and they will never go against this logic. This is a Marxist law. When we say imperialism is ferocious, we mean that its nature will never change, that the imperialists will never lay down their butcher knives, that they will never become Buddhas till their doom. Fight, fail, fight again, fail again, fight again, until their victory. That is the logic of the people, and they too will never go against this logic. This is another Marxist law. The Russian People's Revolution has followed this law, and so has the Chinese People's Revolution. With that said, I urge you to use the hashtag #AvengeBolivia to rally people to the cause of setting right the injustice that was done today.